Hey everyone, I just want to take a minute to talk about this Chris White, Michael Tsarion debacle that's going on right now. I know Chris, so I don't want this to seem like it's an unbiased opinion. I talk with Chris once a week at least. We shoot emails back and forth all the time. Do a show together. Chris has no idea that I'm doing this. Chris has no idea that I'm right now in the middle of transcribing the video that we're talking about here, which is Michael Tsarion is Wrong, a Debunkumentary, which Michael Tsarion has had removed from YouTube, removed from every place he can find it, to the point where all of Chris's YouTube accounts have been disbanded and deleted. And I find this extremely disturbing, not just because Chris is my friend, but because I thought that this kind of censorship and this kind of internet, I don't know, clamp down on information was going to come by government mandate, or we'd get it from the major TV networks or wherever. Chris used very small snippets of the Origins and Oracles DVD set, very small, only to prove several very specific points. This was social commentary at its best, political, social, however you want to look at it. It clearly falls under fair use. But Chris is a little guy and Michael Tsarion is a bigger guy, so he has the resources to pursue this at a much higher degree than Chris does. Now, I want you to think about this, okay? We talk a lot about 9/11 and 9/11 truth and truth on all different levels. But if from September 12th, 2001, we had ABC News and NBC and Fox News and all of our news outlets saying you can't post those videos, you can't do anything, people can come to our website and purchase those, but they're not allowed to repost them, they're not allowed to talk about them, they're not allowed to raise questions about them, or we're going to have them deleted for the internet. I want you to think about where we would be as far as 9/11 truth today. I want you to think about this on a multitude of levels. What if Tim Russert decided he didn't want those George Bush talking about being a member of Skull and Bones and John Kerry talking about being a member of Skull and Bones? He didn't want that on the internet. That's got to be gone. It was aired once, it's gone forever. We live in an age where we have just this wonderful technology that we can use to share and pool information with one another. Now, Michael Tsarion claims that the Origins and Oracles DVD set leaves no stone unturned. So Chris raises questions, points out some problems that he has as someone who has studied the Bible for a very long time and very thoroughly with the application and interpretation of Bible verses in the DVD. But that's one stone that needs to be covered up. You're not allowed to know about that. You're not allowed to question that. That's very disturbing, absolutely disturbing. And I just can't even put into words how dangerous that is and how upsetting it is that someone who makes their money claiming to be telling the truth is hiding things and is basically getting a free pass, doing something that if our government was doing, people would be freaking out. You and he and all of his cohorts and all the people within the truth movement would be going absolutely buck nutty over someone having something like this removed from the internet. Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you like Chris or you like me or you like Michael Tsarion. This is a simple case of, I don't know. You're not allowed to have an opinion about my work. The only people that are allowed to have valid opinions in this world are me and people who agree with me. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you're not allowed to talk about it. You're definitely not allowed to share any piece of what I've said with anyone else. It doesn't matter whether or not I'm right or wrong. I don't care as long as my opinion is the only one that gets out there, because then people will only have my opinion to go by. And that's dangerous. That's thought control. That's mind control. That is censorship. Do we live in a free country? Do we have fair use for a reason, or do we not? Does it exist for a reason, or is Michael Tsarion as the big bad giant here stomping on little old Chris White, who is pretty much powerless in this whole thing? Think about it. Just think about it. And I'm working on transcribing the whole video so that you can check it out. As soon as I'm done, I'll send it to Chris and he can post it. He can, you can do whatever you want with it. All I'm doing is saying cross-reference everything. Don't ever just listen to me. Don't ever just listen to Chris. Don't ever just listen to Michael Tsarion or Alex Jones or whoever. Cross-reference and double-check all of the information that you put in here. Because just as sure as you have checks and gates of information going out on the television, we're getting them on the internet now. And for some reason, we have people who feel it's their right and their privilege to bypass United States law and shut down dissenting opinion. And that's an extremely dangerous precedent, especially coming out of the truth movement, which is almost ridiculous to imagine that it's going on. I mean, it's happening. So, you know, if you really want to do something and you're a fan of Michael Tsarion, you're not a fan of Michael Tsarion, email him and tell him you want people to be able to talk about his work from whatever perspective there is. You want, you know, if he's saying something about the Bible, you want someone that's a Christian to talk about it. If he's talking about theosophy, you want a theosophist to be able to comment on it. It's, you know, it's a very simple concept. We have free speech in this country, and we have fair use for a reason. And fair use used in this application is exactly what it's for. That's why we have it. So I guess that's it. Keep your eye out for the transcript if you haven't seen the video, and I thank everyone that's kept the video up this long. And you know, I won't name names or say where it is, but you can still find it online some places. And I guess that's it. Just, you know, check your facts, and personally, just email Michael Tsarion and tell him, you know, hey, cool it with this. This is ridiculous. Now we're going to get into a big-time legal issue here because someone said something about you that you don't like. And it's stupid, it's un-American, and it really violates every essence of free speech and fair use that we have. And there are so many good sources of news out there and places that compile news that do so under the banner of fair use. And once we attack fair use, we're pretty much at the whim of the mainstream media and certain figureheads to present us with their version of reality, and we no longer have the right to question it or to apply their own words, their own videos, information. I mean, God forbid another terrorist attack happens, we won't be able to parse that information the way we did with 9/11 because the precedent has now been set to just strike any video that raises any question that the person who created it doesn't like. Fair use, bye-bye. Free speech, bye-bye. Internet as we know it, see ya. That's it.